It's not just in your head, and you're not lazy. Are you having more days where you're sort of kind of getting a decent amount of sleep, yet still waking up feeling like you're walking through quicksand? Doctors, friends, well-meaning family members are telling us it's just our age. But then you think, wait, there are women my age who are walking marathons and hiking like it's easy peasy while you're contemplating if brushing your teeth counts as today's workout. Doesn't seem fair, right? What if your fatigue isn't just something you have to deal with? That there are some real no gimmicky strategies that could help you regain your energy without emptying your wallet. Would you start implementing them today? Because I got the game plan if you're ready. You know how some people say it's just our hormones, like that explains everything. Well, they're not entirely wrong. It is about our hormones, but then it's not just about our hormones. It's about how those hormonal changes impact literally everything. Our sleep, the quality of it, how we respond to stress, our metabolism, and even how our body uses the nutrients from the foods we eat. I remember having the biggest crocodile tears streaming down my face as I sat across from my doctor saying, I don't think I can live like this anymore. See, years prior, I had been diagnosed with chronic fatigue and my adrenals had tapped out. It took so long for me to regain a baseline level of energy back then. So when menopause-related fatigue stepped in, I felt hopeless. I've been so fortunate to have some really good doctors. You know, the kind of doctors who take their time, they empathize, they educate. What I learned during my conversation with the doctor is that most of us are approaching fatigue all wrong. We're drinking more caffeine, taking all the supplements, looking for the latest miracle. When what we really need to do is address our hidden energy drains. Yeah, that's the thing. And the biggest leak for most of us is, you think I'm going to say sleep or maybe stress, right? Both of those are definitely factors to be mindful of. However, there's something else that's draining us that not a lot of people are talking about. It's inflammation. And I know inflammation sounds like a wellness buzzword, but getting some understanding around this changed my life, and it might do the same thing for you. During this transitional time of life, I was beyond tired. I had joint pain, brain fog, and my digestion was messier than usual. Oh, and I would get random headaches, something I never dealt with before. Any of that sounding familiar to you? Now that I know what I know, those were not separate issues. They were connected by inflammation triggered by certain foods I was eating. My doctor wanted me to try a, quote, elimination diet. The thing was, I had been gluten and dairy free for years prior to this unrelenting fatigue rolling in. And alcohol, I've never partaken, so the doctor went down the list. She took a long pause at processed foods. You know, chips, cookies, protein bars, deli meat, bread. So yeah. Was it fun? Was it easy? Heck no. The first couple of days were rough. My attitude and my demeanor showed it. There was no filter here. I frowned at everybody and growled at the wind for being the wind. But by the end of the week, something shifted. I woke up and actually felt rested. As the weeks passed, I had more energy. Where let's just say, honey, I'm too tired, quickly became, I'm ready. You ready? Here's the protocol my doctor took me through to help me regain my energy that I am so very thankful for. Anytime I notice myself reverting back to having that low level of energy, I absolutely incorporate this protocol right away and I see results. And I promise you, there's not a single expensive supplement on the list. So, step 1 is a short temporary elimination of the top inflammatory foods. For just 3 days. Not forever. Simply long enough for your body's inflammatory response to calm down just a bit. And I hear you asking, Tressey, what in the grocery shopping am I supposed to eat? You know, instead of focusing on the fact that for the next 3 days, you have to bypass that spicy chicken sandwich with a side of potato wedges. Now we get the great opportunity to see how our body and energy levels respond when our meals are comprised primarily of leafy greens, sweet potatoes, rice or quinoa, nuts, fish, berries, foods prepared very simply, not deep fried, not battered, because these foods have been shown to actively reduce inflammation. Step 2. When I was drowning in fatigue, I thought I needed to sleep more. But what I actually needed was to sleep better. Did you know that our bodies get hotter during this transitional phase of life? Thank you, hot flashes. And overheating disrupts our sleep. Sleeping in my 100% cotton pajamas with a cool mist humidifier beaming across my face? Yeah, That's relief for deeper, better sleep. And let's not forget that one foot that hangs out the covers. Doesn't that just keep the whole temperature balanced just right? Step 3, now we gotta move. Our bodies are designed to move. Movement helps our bodies transport vital fluids throughout. You know what becomes the breeding ground for stagnation, infection, disease, and the like? Lack of movement. When I turned 40, when I understood that, that's when I started really focusing on prevention. That's why I exercise first thing in the morning. That's what works for me. You choose what works for you. But not moving is not an option. Even more so now that I am well over 50. If you walk for 10 or 20 minutes or did some type of mobility stretches in the morning, I wonder what kind of a positive impact that would have on your energy. Now, the icing on this energy cake is to do strength training for at least 2 days a week. That's not too much to ask for, but there's one more piece to this plan. Everything we've talked about will help, but none of it will stick without this one piece. Change how you think about your energy. Energy is not something you have or don't have. Our body is constantly generating energy. And you know, we have more control over that than we realize or give ourselves credit for. Let that sink in. We have to make strategic decisions about how and where we allow our energy resources to go. Toxic relationships, negative thoughts, pleasing all the people, tackling endless to-do lists that don't really move the needle towards the things that we really want. Yeah, those drain our energy reserves. And guess what? It's our responsibility to protect our energy, especially during this transitional phase of life. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to disappoint people sometimes. Because it's not just about having more energy to do things. It's about having the energy to live the life you want. So eat well, stay active.